Hello, my art-loving friends. I have hidden in these packages lots of new watercolors and watercolor goodies that I want to share with you today, as well as a few other things. In addition to showing you what's inside all these fun packages, we will be swatching all the watercolors. So hello, my name is Miranda, and I'm covered in paint, which is why I'm not on screen today. But on this channel, we do a lot of watercolor stuff. Once in a while, we get distracted by another fun art supply, but it's mostly watercolor. So what we're gonna do, I'll show you what's inside all of these, and then we'll do the swatching at the end. Beam Paints was having a sale that Annie Noodle told me about. She has a channel here on YouTube. She is a great artist, so you should check that out. I'll try and link that below. Anyway, because of Annie, I spent money. And I bought this because what they did is they took these Kaweco fountain pen cases and they turned them into little watercolor palettes. Beam Paints did. So if I open them up, you can see they have their wax paper, beeswax, whatever you want to call that, innards, and inside is the pen that you would normally get. And they added 6 of their own paints and a little travel brush. So if I unscrew that and screw that back on, you can see it's branded to Beam Paints, and it's quite small. It says it's a round size 4. And there's this here fountain pen that I don't know how to use, but I did unscrew it, and it has a cartridge in it that I assume I just plug into there. We'll try that later in the video and see what kind of mess I can make. I should probably not put that in that direction, should I? So stay tuned, and I will definitely show you what these 6 colors look like, because I am curious myself. I think they had 4 or so different sets to choose from, and then they sent this full-size burnt sienna as a free sample. Burnt sienna is one of my most used paint colors, so I'm going to have to find a way to add it into this little palette. The next thing was a generous gift from one of you. Thank you so much. I did a video about My Merry Blue paints, and I had a set of 5 very limited colors but beautiful colors, and I mentioned that I could really use a light yellow, and so she looked at the swatches online and sent me this golden yellow. And early this morning I poured it into this palette. This is the palette that I started in that original video, so these are the 5 colors that came in there. You can catch up on that video. I'll link it in the corner in the description box below. And this is what the new color looks like, so we'll swatch that out. And I poured this, what time is it? About 7 hours ago. And it has a film on the top, but it's all still squishy underneath, so that's kind of surprising. It's drying pretty quickly. However, when I first poured this, the lid that goes on this palette actually fits down pretty close to the level of these grooves, and so I kind of made a mess. So let them dry completely before you put that lid on. And then I had a half pan of the My Merry Blue Raw Umber that I just set in here. Okay, so we'll compare this to the other yellow and swatch it out later in this video. This box here was a birthday box from a generous friend here. So I'll show you what's in this little bag first. So many fun things. All right. Got a bag of coal. Must have been a bad girl. Anyway, it is cinnamon hard candy, which will be fun to try. And then these beautiful Van Gogh dusk colors. So we have dusk yellow, dusk violet, dusk pink, and dusk green. These are 10 ml tubes, and I do have, I think, all of these colors in half pans, but I want to make a mixed palette, so it's very exciting to have these in tubes. Next up, we have some candy, but she mentioned, and I didn't even think about it until she mentioned it, how this would make a really fun watercolor palette once all the nerds are gone. So we're gonna have to keep eating them, empty this out, and make ourselves a watercolor palette. It'll hold at least 5 colors. I haven't opened it up to see what's in the middle. I'm afraid if I try and open it while the nerds are still in there, that I'll make a horrible mess, but, oh, I did it. Okay, so no center well, just 5 really large wells. Sorry, I'm eating nerds. So you'd have to put in your 5 most favorite colors, and then I was thinking I could paint this lid white, and that wasn't too hard to get off, so it'd probably make a great palette, because when it's on there really well, but it was easy to get off. It's nice sturdy plastic too. And then, very excited about this. This is a set of 12 of Jackson's branded paints. There are some beautiful colors in here, and I'll list them off when I'm swatching them later in the video. Very excited for this. Next up is this really interesting sketchbook. This is Odd Orange, and I've been waiting to share this with you guys, to take this off because it was so tight I couldn't slide it off. Quality stationery for creative people, handmade in our Shropshire-based design studio and bindery. Made from recycled and responsibly sourced materials, and here's their website. It's 190 GSM, smooth, natural white, 80 pages, mixed media. I've been dying to fill the paper. Oh wow, okay, so it feels like Bristol paper. Very interesting. This will probably be great for colored pencils. Okay, we'll try this. Maybe not in this video, but definitely on the list. And last but not least is this awesome box. Oh, do you guys know what this is? This is very exciting. So there's some free samples. I'll show those to you in a minute, but here's the goods. This is one of the amazing Arts to Embers 3D printed palettes. And this one happens to be for the Kuretake Gonzai Tambi paints. So if I open it up, pull it out, it comes with a nice hand stamped swatch sheet on watercolor paper. And it has the paper, very nice presentation, and it is a little bit stiff to open. There we go. But look how beautiful once you get it open. Oh my goodness. So you have this mixing space, and this mixing space has had something poured on it. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like resin, and I'm sure we could look that up on the website and find that out pretty quickly. And then this was a little free sample he sent, and this can split the pans here for the Kuretake paints into two. And this was on my wish list because mine just live in the box right now, and I have 16 of them, and there's no mixing space, so I don't pull them out all the time because I have to get out an additional mixing space. So now these will just go into here and live there forever, and I can have mixing space palette just ready to go. My idea was to fill up the 18 slots to get the other graphite colors that I'm missing. I was missing the blue and the green. But after watching so many other videos, I am tempted to get like the lavender and that really light blue. I'm not sure, but I could cut these bit out of them if possible and stick in this little pan and do half colors of something. That would be brave, but I could do that. So no need to swatch these. These have already been swatched on my channel, but we will be putting this palette together and trying it out in future so I can share that with you guys. So keep an eye out on your notifications. Subscribe if you want to be notified when that video comes out. Subscribing is free. And he sent in this little sample here. I still need to email him about what color this is, but some kind of green. We can swatch that out and see what that is. And a nice little card that has a note, a personal note from the gift giver on the back that I really appreciate. We'll start by swatching these, and I'll just show you how one is packaged, and then I'll do the rest without you so you don't have to sit through them. But you can see they have the name of the color on there as well as the color number, and that's it on that part. Sometimes you can slide them out, but this looks like it has some glue on it. So if peel that off, and they're wrapped in foil. Peel that off. Fell right out of the pan, darn it. The pans are not marked, however. All right, so we'll have to look up the, oh no, there's the pigment information. I don't know how I missed that. It's PY3, transparent, light fastness of 1. But because they're also wrapped in foil, you can't keep this on the pan. I'll have to write it on each of them individually. And then I'll probably just put a drop of water underneath each pan and put these back in, and hopefully they'll stay in for a while. All right, I'll unwrap the rest of these and we'll see what these colors look like. Time for swatching. We're starting with the Jacksons here, and I did get in the bottom of my drawer and find the pan. I had a phthalo blue, and luckily it fits right in between there, so I don't have to readjust anything. So we'll do this real time, which I don't usually do with my swatching. I usually do voiceover, but we're going to try it and see if we like it or hate it or what. So this is how I do my swatching here, and this is just in the Bao sketchbook, the 100% cotton watercolor journal sketchbook. I love this paper. It's incredibly enjoyable to use. And I will do these in my regular watercolor project method, which is on Arches paper, and it goes in business card sleeves and whatnot. But I just wanted to play with these in this sketchbook today. I don't know why. This is lemon yellow. It is PY3, and it's considered transparent. And I don't really understand the light fast ratings. I thought the number was the light fast rating on the swatch, but that is actually the series number. So all of these labels just have a little sun on them, and they're all exactly the same. So I'm assuming maybe that's light, fast, good. I have Jackson's website up here. Let's look up this lemon yellow real quick. Light, fast, good. I think they consider all their paints just light, fast, good. But I don't know. I could be wrong about that. And we are gonna skip one, which is gonna drive me crazy, but hopefully it doesn't drive you too crazy. But I didn't put tape in between these because I just wanted to use all the space we have. It's nice to see big swatches when you're looking at these. So this one here is the yellow ochre, PY43. So it feels like it re-wet really easily, but there's not a huge color payout over here, which is just interesting. So let's try that again. Considering this one opaque, not untypical for a PY43. There we are. Yeah, so just a low tinting PY43, which could be good because it's an opaque color, low tinting enough that it will act more transparent. Next up here is the cadmium red light. It's a PR108. Yeah, see, they re-wet really easily. This one looks like it's going to have a very strong color payout. Yeah, look at that. So they consider this one opaque, if I didn't say that already. Light fastness is just the normal sun icon. I don't know if that's, I need to look up what their labels mean. Travels in water a little bit, that's very pretty. So this is one you wouldn't even need to go over the swatch more than once if you didn't want to, because that first coat is plenty strong. So I think I'll leave it at that. I wouldn't use it on my watercolors any stronger, like my watercolor pieces and paintings any stronger than that. So I kind of like to do these swatches in the same way that I would paint. We'll leave that as it is. I think it might drive me crazy not to have tape on the edges. I like nice straight edges, but that's all right. We'll get it figured out. No big deal. We'll live. This one is Permanent Sap Green. It's a PB29 and a PY154. And they're considering this one fully transparent. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh. Okay. This is nice. Some sap greens are really, really bright. They wouldn't be like what I would want in a sap green. But this one definitely has a little bit more earthiness to it, which is very nice. We'll see in a painting how it actually is. This one I will go over one more time. And we won't see that today. We're going to take a deeper dive into each of the products in today's video later on in the future. So stay tuned for that. Keep your notifications turned on. Today we're just exploring what these colors look like. This one here is the Ultramarine Deep. It's your typical PB29, fully transparent, Series 2. Very bright, nice. Wow. Lots of pigment in that one. Travels in water a little bit, which is always fun to see. Let's give that another bit of paint. Yeah, look at that. Nice and deep. This one here is the Payne's Gray, and it's a mixture of PBK7, PB15, and PV19. And they're considering this one semi-transparent. Wow, that's dark and beautiful. I do love Payne's Grays. Alright, I didn't have very much water on my brush, so didn't get a whole lot of paint out that first round. But I'll grab some more water, some more paint. Do one more go here. Wow. Alright, so this has a blue and a violet in it along with the PBK7, which made it a fairly neutral looking Payne's Gray. It's quite pretty. There you can see without the glare. I really like that. All right, we are dry enough we can come up there to that one. This one here is the Naples Yellow Hue. It's PY35, PW4, and PW6, so 2 different whites in it. Considered fully opaque. I'm excited to see it. Ooh, pretty. Oh, I like that. It's very reminiscent of yellow leaning buff titanium, and I have seen yellow leaning buff titaniums. So if you like buff titanium, you might like this one. It's just a little bit more yellow. It's showing up more bright yellow on the camera than it actually is. I'm trying to get the layer off there where you can see it a little better. I like it a lot. I could see that one being very useful for me. I didn't think I would like that one so much. You see it in the pan, it just doesn't look like anything special. It looks pretty, but seeing it on the paper, wow, I love it. Okay, good lesson for me, good lesson. I'm like, oh, it'll be an interesting color. Should know never to judge stuff, right? Before you use it. I wasn't judging it, I just noted it and moved on. So I'm going to be real curious how this one paints out. This is the Quinacridone Gold, PY119, PY42, and PY83. Ah, beautiful. So this reminds me a little bit of the Quinacridone, I was going to say the Quinacridone Burnt Orange and Daniel Smith. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Although when it hit water, it went a lot brighter, more bright yellow tones in it. So that's just beautiful. Okay, I'm impressed with this one. I like that one quite a lot. I could see me using this one a lot. I tend to reach for my Daniel Smith Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet and Quinacridone Burnt Orange more often than I thought I would. So this is going to be useful. Quin Golds are always useful, aren't they? This one here is the Permanent Magenta. This is a PV19, transparent, Series 3. Oh, this looks like the Quin Lilac in the Rosa Gallery, which is also a PV19. Very nice. I think it's a PV19 anyway. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. So you add a little bit of the CAD to this and it becomes more of a, I was going to say a pure magenta color, or you add a little bit of blue to it and becomes more of a violet. That'll be a useful color. And it's beautiful on its own, not to mention. What do you guys think? I like it. Here we have the Burnt Umber. It's a PBR7 transparent Series 1. Ah, okay. It's a very gray brown or neutral brown. Did not get much pigment on the brush that first round. Let's do some more here. All right. Look at that. Okay. I like that. Since it doesn't lean orange or red in any which way, could use it for many things. Now here's one I'm really excited to see because I am in love with indigos. This is a PB15 and a PBK7, and it's a Series 1, and it's considered semi-transparent. In we go. Ooh. Wow, you can see that PB15. Well, you can't yet until I get it lightened out, but the PB15 is shining through. Look at that. You see how it just boing? I remember Jackson's Indigo was one that was in my dot card series, and I didn't choose it because it was so blue. It did not make the final cut for me picking an actual indigo at that time. I think I chose Sennelier and Core at the time. I'll link that video in the corner in the description box below. That whole dot card series is really fun. It's one I'm going to be continuing this year. Regardless, absolutely gorgeous blue. And that's a blue I reach for in my paintings all the time. So even though it's not the indigo that I chose in that particular video, it is a color that I choose all the time in my painting. This one here is their neutral tint, and it's a PBK7, a PB60, one of my favorite colors, a PR209, Series 1, and semi-transparent. Ooh. These are great color choices in this palette. Absolutely great. Ooh, and look at it flow in water. Wow. You can see the red, the PR209 coming out just a little bit in it. Nice. Don't really feel like we need another coat, but we'll put one on anyway, just to even it out. Well, that is very fun. So those are the colors that came in the 12 set. And let me take this tape off and we'll swatch that phthalo blue. All right, we have a long skinny one down the middle there. This is the phthalo blue. On the website, it is phthalo cyanine blue. It's a PB153. Light, fast, good. Oh, wow, interesting. This one feels or looks at first glance like it may have white in it. And obviously it doesn't say that on the website, it just says the PB153. But I guess if they put a little bit of white in, they don't have to tell you. So yeah, this is not a phthalo blue like you would see in the Daniel Smith line. It is much brighter. Reminds me a little bit of a cobalt blue. It's really pretty. Phthalo blues in general aren't always my favorite blues anyway, so the fact that this one leans slightly differently than the others, I like that. I use phthalo blues quite often, but still, okay, well that's interesting. Very interesting color. While those are drying, let's swatch these beam paints and see what we have going on here. I've never used these. This is quite exciting. Very curious about them. All right, this is the Burnt Sienna PBR7. So it's the same PBR7 as, well, the same pigment as we just had over on the Jackson swatches for the Burnt Umber. Seem to re-wet okay. Oh, very, very low tinting. Okay. Not much pigment there. Not at first. These might benefit from pre-wetting, or at least this particular pigment might. Alright, it looks like I have quite a bit that time. Better. Alright, so that's probably as much work as I would put into wetting a paint. So we'll leave it at that. So I don't usually pre-wet when I do my swatches because I like to see how they perform without being wet first, of course. Through this experiment, this may be a lesson where I know now if I want to use these paints to go ahead and spray them first, but we'll see. We can't judge that just on one color. There are colors, pigments that are harder to re-wet than others. All right, this one is a PG17 Mitigwahking Boreal. I have no idea how that's pronounced or what that means. But this is a PG17. Okay, so it also looks like I'm not getting a whole lot of pigment on the brush, but let's see. Sometimes it's deceiving. Ah, interesting. So this kind of feels like, you know, the green earths, terre vertes, all of those. Just a very subtle, beautiful light green. Wow. Get a little bit more. Does have a beautiful hue to it though. Look at that. Subtle and nice. Okay, so this one has Harvest Wheat, PY43. Just says Light Fast. Low tinting again. Alright, so I don't know if it's just the colors I bought or what, but I don't know. Ooh, that's way better. I'm just gonna be quiet. I'll paint with these before we talk about the future of them, which will be in a future video. We'll do a bigger deep dive, like I said in the beginning, of all of these paints in the future. So this one is Prussian Blue, PB27. Prussian Blue is also one of my favorite colors usually in a paint set. Let's see what this one looks like. Ah, interesting. Don't think my tape was fully down right there. Oh well. Yeah, so this looks a lot like the Prussian Blue from my Himimiya set of watercolors, which I like and I have used a ton of. And this one definitely has more pigment than the others I have tried so far. Okay, moving on to the Van Gogh Dusk colors. I did find my half pans that were given to me, so we'll use the paint out of these half pans. And we'll start here with the Dusk Green. 3-star light fast, semi-transparent, or semi-opaque, I'm not sure how to read that. PBK11 and a PG7. Dusk Green, in we go. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. So beautiful. Here, let me tip this up for you. It's funny because when I tip it up, the glare goes away for you guys, but then it glares for me. Makes it hard to see, but that's okay. I'll live. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, this is just beautiful. I'm so glad to have a tube of this. Makes me very happy. Half pan tube. Lucky girl. Wow. That's gorgeous. Next up here is the Dusk Violet, 2-star light fast rating, semi-transparent, PBK11 with PV23. In we go. Oh, wow. I don't expect them to be so dark right off the bat, but they are, and they're just stunning. Okay, runs in water a little bit. So pretty. All right, jumping back to the beam paints, since those two are mostly dry, we have Spring Green, PY74 and a PB15:1. I imagine this will be nice and bright, although here it looks like it has a yellowy olive tint, which would be good. Okay, yeah. Definitely see yellow shining through, which is pretty. Wow, very pretty. I do like this one. I just stuck my finger in it. Oops. I got a lot of water just then, but that's all right. Pretty nice strong pigment in that one. All right, don't worry, we're gonna come back to all these when they're dry. This one is Fall Poplar Yellow, PY74. Ooh, pretty. Love me a bright yellow. Very interesting color choices. This one's called the Summer Camp Kit, if you forgot from the beginning. I like this one. That is a pretty color. This one, I'm really excited to see what this is gonna look like because, well, I just am. Plus, it has a fun name. Well, it's nothing special, but it's still a fun name. Cherry Magenta, PR122. like it. Coming back here to the Dusk Colors by Van Gogh, we have Dusk Yellow, semi-transparent, 3-star light fast rating. This one's made with the PBK11 and the PY128. All right, let's see what this Dusk Yellow looks like. They're just so strong. They really surprised me right out of the gate. Beautiful. Next up here is the Dusk Pink, 2-star light fast rating, semi-transparent or semi-opaque, one or the other, PBK11 with PV19. I am looking forward to seeing this one. It's been a while since I've swatched these. Oh, goodness sakes. Lovely. Wow, it's so pretty. So pretty. And last but not least is this My Merry Blue Golden Yellow. We need to see what it looks like, and then we can do a couple of color comparisons between it and the yellow next to it. Plus, I have this half pan of raw umber that I am curious to see what it looks like. Okay, My Merry Blue's Golden Yellow, PY183. In we go. Oops, I just went right over the dusk purple. Wow, that's strong and beautiful. Goodness. That's gorgeous. Not a lemon yellow, but beautiful. Great addition to the palette. And we can see what that looks like compared to the, I think that was Cad Yellow Deep right next to it, right? Right above it. I think I might put a felt pad or something on the bottom of this palette. Make it not loud and wiggly on my desk. All right, here's the, oh wow. That is amazingly vibrant also. They're not too different when they are wetted down. Very similar. Interesting. She picked from the online swatches, which of course are never quite accurate, but I am grateful to have that golden yellow. Here is beautiful. But yeah, they're very similar. Love it. I don't think I could get the golden yellow obviously as orange as that one. I guess we could try and put a little stripe over it, but I wouldn't want to. You know, that's color you use in its own right. But I did get it deeper there. All right, and then let's see what this raw umber looks like. Never used a My Merry Blue half pan. This is PBR7. Yeah, so typical raw umber, kind of low tinting, kind of a grayish brown color. Pretty interesting. Oops, I went right into the yellow accidentally. Barely. Now I have too much water. Fail all the way around. Oops, I didn't get salt on this one, so it's going to look different. Salt is just for fun. It's kind of silly to do anyway, but enjoyable. All right. Neat. While these are all still drying, I wanted to remind you about the calendar kit that I have for sale on my website. Comes with the calendar backing pages, 14 pages of Fabriano 100% cotton paper, and all of the painting tutorials for these 12 pages of paintings that you can put on your calendar. And it's only $29, free shipping unless you're outside the US, then shipping costs some. But yeah, you get all these tutorials included with it. And this was part of my watercolor gift box, of which I do have a couple of those left as well. And they aren't holiday or Christmas themed, so they're good for any time of the year. And the link for that will be in the description box below. All right, let's see if these are dry enough, at least over on one side, to do anything with. And I didn't paint with this little travel brush. We can do that when we take a deeper dive into that whole set later. And this, I suppose I should try to put together. Do you think I should try without knowing what I'm doing? I think I will, because why not? I assume you just press that there and you're done. And then what? I don't know. Paper. I need paper. Does it just work then? Ooh, it does. Kind of. So I expected the ink to be green, but it's kind of a blue-purple. All right, doesn't feel like anything's too special, but let's post that on the back so we have something to hold on to. We can try this on watercolor paper and see if it works. Granted, it's not fully primed or whatever the word is yet, but I still want to try it. Okay, now I can fill the little ball in there. That's neat. Jackson's Watercolors. And I have no idea what day it is. Late in the month. There we go. Well, that works nicely. Everything's dry, and I used this beautiful pen to write all the names and pigment information and realized we forgot to swatch this green, whatever that is. I still haven't emailed him to find out. And that pen, by the way, wrote beautifully on watercolor paper. But let's see what this is. Okay, so this must be like a terre verte as well. Probably a PG-17. It looks a lot like that, but more green. Brighter green, more like a chromium oxide green. Maybe that's what this is. Although it seemed really low tinting at first, not so much with this second go. All right, still need to find out what that is. And I like it. Check it out. Yeah, it's pretty. All right, so closer look at the colors here. Now that they're all dry and there's no glare on them, here they all are. Interestingly enough, this phthalo blue looks very granulating. More so than the ultramarine. It's really pretty. I think I'll enjoy using that. Plus the color selection is just absolutely perfect for me. I just think it's ideal. I do tend to use a Quin Magenta or kind of like a rosy color, so it'll be interesting to see how I get on with just the Cad Red and the Permanent Magenta, but like I said, we'll find out as time goes on. Great selection, great little palette. I'm so glad to have it. And now here are all of these. So what do you think? Out of all of these, which is your favorite? I'm kind of intrigued by this little sample color. I do need to find out what that is. This is highly granulating, quite pretty, but it's, you know, one of those you put on the paper and you're like, where's the color at first? But we're used to those now. We've seen enough of them out there. Green Earth, Terre Verte, and I actually think it could be really useful. These are just gorgeous, aren't they? Can you believe how deep they are? You could use a lot of water with them and still get a nice color payout. And this one is dry. Yeah, it's just showing that kind of shiny, or that golden color is kind of shining through it. Look how pretty. Boy, I'm not sure I could choose a favorite if I was forced to. This is hard. There are many beautiful colors. Obviously, I'm fascinated by this Naples yellow hue. The sap green is intriguing as well. It actually looks like a deep, darker sap green that could be really useful. These are all pretty. This golden yellow just has such a beautiful shine to it. I don't know, these are all just amazing. I would say my least favorites are the ones I bought myself, these beam paints. But until I actually paint with them, we will withhold judgment. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got some entertainment out of this, maybe some useful swatching so you know what colors you might like or not like. And remember, the calendar and all the tutorials are available on my website. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now, and have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate, because the next video I see you in will be after Christmas. Again, bye for now. I've been wanting to sled in this house for so many years, and I keep forgetting. We end up going snowmobiling instead or something. Finally, got the kiddos out there. And the dogs. Wait, where are they? What did I get for zooming in? Oh, the dogs are having fun. Except for this one. He's too old to go up there. Here it comes. Those are happy dogs. So happy. Really gonna have to break out a trail first. That may take a minute. There is Riley and my oldest son's wife, Alyssa. And the dogs. The dogs are so helpful. So I'm going to be real curious how this one paints out. This is Jackson's. While these are still all drying, I wanted to write